Today I'm going to talk about some amazing, boring online jobs that are always hiring and that pay 5 to 6 figures a year. And the companies hiring for these positions literally can't fill them fast enough. And this is coming from someone who has helped literally thousands of people get jobs. And when I say thousands, I mean we have thousands of video testimonials of people that have gotten jobs. And we constantly keep our finger on the pulse of what jobs are hiring, where the shortages are, which jobs companies are having a very difficult time hiring for. And so when I tell you which online jobs actually pay, I would know. So today I'm going to show you a bunch of these boring but high-paying online jobs. Plus, I'm going to talk about what you actually do, how much you actually make, the skills that you need. None of these require a degree or years of experience, and exactly how you can get started landing one of these jobs this week, even if you have no experience. And some of these have zero competition because most people don't even know they exist. A couple of them are so unusual that you're going to wonder if I'm making them up. I'm not. So whether you're stuck in a corporate job that you hate, you got laid off, or you're a stay-at-home parent looking for income, or you're just curious about what the boring rich people are actually doing, you're in the right place. Now, if you appreciate me making this type of content, let me know by gently cheersing that like button, and let's jump into it right now. Okay, so first up, and I know this one's gonna be a little bit morbid, but stick with me because this is one of the most overlooked recession-proof work-from-home jobs in the country right now, and that is a crime scene cleanup coordinator. Now, before you click off, you're not doing the actual cleanup, okay? You're not putting on a hazmat suit, you're not anywhere near a crime scene. You're the coordinator. Okay, you're the dispatcher, you're the desk person. Now, here's how it actually works. When something terrible happens, like a homicide or an unattended death or a hoarding situation, the police don't clean it up. The hospital doesn't clean it up. The family doesn't even know who to call. And that's where the crime scene cleanup company comes in. And those companies need someone to answer the phones, talk to the family, dispatch the field teams, coordinate with insurance, and handle the billing. And that whole back office operation is done remotely from your house. So you can think of it like being a 911 dispatcher, but for the worst day of someone's life. You're not on the scene, you're on the phone coordinating the response. And the salary range here, well, the base pay starts around $50,000 a year, with commissions on bigger jobs and on-call bonuses. Top coordinators can clear $80,000 a year. Now here's what all the different job websites show. You can pause the screen and check it out if you want. But the coolest thing is most companies will train you from zero. No degree, no certification required, just empathy, decent communication skills, and the ability to not get squeamish on the phone. Now, here's the proof point that I want you to think about. There's a woman named Laura Spalding. She used to be a Kansas City cop. She started a little crime scene cleanup company called Spalding Decon back in 2005 as a side hustle. And today, it's the #1 crime scene cleanup franchise in America. It's in the Incorporated 5000, it's been featured on Forbes, it's been featured on Vice, and the business is valued at over $25 million. But here's the part that I really want you to pay attention to. Most of her growth happened after she started filming her work and posting it on YouTube and TikTok. So her YouTube channel has over 800,000 subscribers and 50 million views. So she took a boring, taboo, nobody wants to talk about it industry and put it on YouTube, and it blew up. And that is the actual lesson here. The boring jobs are the opportunity, but one of the most incredible side hustles you can do is just do what you're already doing and put it on YouTube. That's how you turn the boring job into a multi-million-dollar empire. See, a boring job can feed you, but a YouTube channel about your boring job can change your life. So I'll come back to this later. But pros of this job is it's recession-proof, the aging population guarantees demand for decades, there's low competition, there's no degree required. The cons is it's emotionally heavy, you need thick skin, the calls are not for everyone, but the opportunity score here, I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. Massive demand, zero competition, and the social media angle is proven. So that is a side door that almost nobody walks through. So here's how to start. Search crime scene cleanup coordinator remote or biohazard dispatch on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and LinkedIn. National companies hiring include Spalding Decon, Aftermath Services, and Bio1. And most train from scratch, but a customer service or dispatch background helps you stand out. So if you want to take it further, start documenting the industry on YouTube because the audience is hungry for it. All right, section 2 is the digital bounty hunter, also known as a remote repossession coordinator or a skip tracer. So this is going to sound aggressive, but the desk version of this job is one of the most overlooked remote roles in the country. You can be a remote repossession coordinator or a skip tracer. Now, don't get the wrong idea. You are not breaking into cars at 3 a.m. You're not knocking on doors. You're not chasing anybody. You're behind a laptop. You're using databases. You're finding people. So here's what actually happens. Banks, credit unions, auto lenders, even law firms, they all have assets they need to recover from people who stop paying. Cars, boats, equipment, RVs. Or they have debtors they need to locate because the person took off and stopped responding. So somebody has to find them. And that somebody is a skip tracer. So you search public records, databases, social media, credit headers, address histories, employment records, records and you build a profile, you hand it off to the field team, and you can think of it like being a digital bounty hunter. But you never leave the house and the field guys do the dirty work, but you're the brains. The money here is really good because most of these gigs pay commission on top of base. So base pay typically starts around $40,000 a year, but add commissions, and I've seen Reddit posts from top skip tracers clearing $100,000+ a year working from a desk. And the best part is recoveries happen 24/7. So you can build a side hustle around your existing 9 to 5 if you want, or just do it as a full-time job. Now, here's the angle that I love about this one. Most people don't know this exists because it's never advertised on Indeed under skip tracer. It's usually labeled asset locator or recovery coordinator or investigative analyst. That's how the competition stays low. You have to know the actual industry vocabulary to even find the listings. And by the way, there are creators on YouTube right now building entire channels around showing the inside of the repo industry. Some of them have over 100,000 subscribers. They're not famous, they're not on TV, they're just documenting their work, and the audience eats it up. So if you wanted to be really clever about this, get the job, then document the job. Now, pros here is high commission upside, fully remote, no degree required in most states, and it's recession proof. Lenders always need recoveries. The cons is it can be morally tough when you're dealing with people in a genuinely hard financial situation, and the work can be inconsistent month to month. But the opportunity score here, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Big upside, low competition, but the inconsistency keeps it from being a 10. Now here's how to start. If you want to, you can get a skip tracing or repo coordinator training certificate through the American Recovery Association, which is around $200 to $400. Now you don't always have to do it. It's gonna vary from region to region. Search Google or AI to figure out what it's like in your region. Then search remote skip tracer, asset locator, or recovery coordinator on Indeed and LinkedIn. Most lenders, credit unions, and recovery firms hire directly. And the Allied Financial Adjusters Conference of America also runs a job board for this industry. All right, so the next one on the list is gonna be what's broadly known as a subject matter expert. And this is somebody who can be in a variety of different industries. Basically, if you're someone who's been in an industry for a very long time, even if it's a pretty boring industry, in fact, I'd say especially if it's a pretty boring industry, and you just know a lot about how the industry actually works, you could be a subject matter expert. So just as an example, my brother Zach has been in the trades for over 30 years. Specifically, he worked in welding and HVAC, which is basically heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And he has a massive amount of knowledge in that industry. And as a subject matter expert, you could work for a variety of different companies. And you would be on call to answer questions whenever they have a very industry or niche specific question, right? So maybe you're an expert on the absolute best and most cutting edge furnaces or floor heating technology, or something along those lines. Now, the salary for subject matter experts ranges massively, and it really depends on the industry you're in, but typically it's gonna be between $80,000 to $130,000 a year. And the truth is, niche specific or industry specific knowledge is incredibly valuable, even if it's super boring. In fact, I would say especially if it's super boring, because if it's super boring, not that many people wanna learn about it, and then less people know about it, and so there's a supply and demand imbalance, and you have the advantage. Now, my brother knows a lot about the HVAC industry, and one time he came to me and he asked me, hey Shane, I've been in the trades for 30 years now, my body's starting to wear out. I want to figure out how to make money without using my body. And we looked into a bunch of different options. Subject matter expert was one of them, but we actually just decided to start a YouTube channel and he could share his knowledge that way. And the crazy thing is, people started reaching out to him left and right, wanting his expertise and recommendations and willing to pay him for it. And literally 1 month after starting his YouTube channel, he went from 0 to a full-time income. Now, if you want to learn more about how he did that, and if you want help actually picking your niche, if you're interested in doing it yourself, then I do have a live training this week. You can click the link in the description and the pinned comment below to attend that. And I'll be giving away the niche validator AI, which is going to help you pick the perfect niche for you. All right, guys, quick break. This video is sponsored by me. I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing a live training this week where I'm going to be revealing the YouTube content advantage in 2026. It is a completely free training, no strings attached. In fact, I'm giving away even more bonuses at the training. Just as an example, I'm going to be giving away my niche validator. And this is going to be available for both Claude as well as ChatGPT, which is a super valuable piece of software where you can finally figure out what the best niche for you is. So do not miss out on this training. Make sure you sign up for it down in the description and the pinned comment below, because you only get it if you join the training. So if you don't join now, you might miss it. But that being said, in the workshop, you'll get to meet me. You'll get to ask me questions directly. So I look forward to meeting you. So click the link in the description, the pinned comment below. Make sure you put it on your calendar. And if for whatever reason
you missed out on it, you weren't able to attend, make sure you still click that link because we might be having workshops in the future as well, and you'll be the first to know about it. So yeah, hope to see you there. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
All right, next one is going to be what I like to call the healthcare translator, also known as a medical coder. Now, to be fair here, there are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of these super little niche healthcare related careers. This is just one of them, but it is one of the more common ones. And here's what it actually is. Every time you go to the doctor writes down what they think happened. For instance, the patient came in with chest pain, performed an EKG, diagnosed with anxiety, prescribed lorazepam. And that note has to be translated into a code, like I-25.10 for chronic ischemic heart disease, or 93005 for an EKG. And that code is what the insurance company uses to pay the doctor. And the person doing that translation, going from doctor's note to the insurance code, that is the medical coder. And you can think of it like being a translator between doctors and insurance companies. The doctor speaks one language, insurance speaks another. You sit in the middle and you translate. Now the salary range, well, entry-level coders start around $48,000 a year, mid-career coders hit $65,000 to $80,000, and specialty coders like cardiology, oncology, surgical, etc. clear $90,000 to $110,000. And it's almost entirely remote. Health systems prefer it that way. Now here's where I get personal. I used to be a pharmacist. I went to pharmacy school and I racked up over $300,000 in student loan debt. And I sat in pharmacy for years staring at insurance codes, processing claims, doing medical coding adjacent work, and I was miserable. So I know exactly what this is all about. And to be completely honest with you, it's not that hard to learn, but it is pretty boring. But the medical coders give a lot of value to the medical industry and the patients that they serve. But what did I do? I started making videos that at first were pharmacy related and career related, and eventually my YouTube income passed up the pharmacist income, and then it just kept going. And it's not just me, just look at Nurse Jen. She was watching a video just like you're watching right now just a couple months ago, and of course she worked as a nurse. And she heard you could start making boring videos about the stuff that you already answer every single day to your coworkers or your patients or your clients or your customers, etc., etc. And she joined my live training and she started making videos. And this is the results. These videos that she posted 1 month ago are getting over 500,000 views each, and she's already making a full-time income from her channel. So yeah, lots of opportunity in medical jobs. Also, lots of opportunity helping other people with medical related stuff. And one thing I'll say is look at these videos, right? These are things that she answers to her patients every single day. Her patients ask her these types of questions every single day, and instead of answering the same thing over and over again, she just answered it, but she recorded it on camera, and it absolutely blew up. And it's not just her. There's another channel called Contempo Coding, and it's all about medical coding. Has over 200,000 subscribers, and I have no knowledge of how much they're making, but given all the links that she has in her description and her about section, plus all the views she's already gotten on her channel, I would assume she's made a lot of money from this channel, right? She's linked to a website where she's selling online courses, merch, tips, tricks, and tutorials, etc., etc. She also offers group education, and she's offering social media promotion, which is typically in the form of a sponsorship. So yeah, opportunity score here, 9 out of 10. Another big thing about healthcare is it's probably the most stable industry you can go into. The demand will literally never die. Healthcare gets bigger every single year. Even when there's a recession, healthcare doesn't go down. It's a good one. So here's how to start. Get the CPC, which is the Certified Professional Coder certification through APAC or AAPC. The total cost is around $400 to $2,000, depending on whether you self-study or take a prep course. The study time is usually going to be 4 to 6 months. And for major health employers like United Health, Anthem, Humana, AAP's own job board, many community colleges offer prep courses at low cost as well.
Quick break, this video is sponsored by me. Most of you don't know that I actually have my own coaching program on personal branding, growing YouTube, and making money on YouTube, and this is for complete beginners. Maybe even people who want to get a job by growing their personal brand, all the way to people who are very advanced at YouTube, right? And they get to work directly with myself and my team to help them reach their goals. Now, we're going to be opening up 3 to 5 spots, and this is pretty rare. We usually don't have these open. We usually only limit them to select people, but we're opening up 3 to 5 spots, and you can check those out down in the description and the pinned comment below. And in this program, you'll get to work directly with myself and other people who are highly successful on YouTube. Just as an example, Sean was able to go from being stuck on his channel to making over $500,000 in a single month on YouTube. Now, that's an example of one of my more advanced students, but there's lots of examples from people who got to 5K a month or 10K a month when they started off as complete beginners. So check that out in the description in the pinned comment below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now back to our regularly scheduled content.
All right, next one is going to be the software specialist. Now, there's so many different pieces of software that you can be a specialist on. Salesforce administrator is one of them. You can also be a specialist on a bunch of different cloud-related software like AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, or Azure, which is basically Microsoft's cloud platform, and it just goes on and on. You could also be a specialist with HubSpot, an Oracle database specialist, et cetera, et cetera. It just goes on and on, right? So I'm gonna just use one example, which is a Salesforce administrator, but this isn't really about one specific job. It's about the entire category that nobody told you about. So the job title is technically Salesforce administrator, but the real principle here is pick one specific business software that a bunch of businesses already use, master it, and then you become an almost unfireable human being, okay? If the business is using the software and they need someone who's a master of it, and you master it, you have job security. Here's what I mean. Big companies run on software, not one piece, but dozens of pieces. Salesforce for sales, HubSpot for marketing, NetSuite for accounting, ServiceNow for IT, Workday for HR, SAP for everything else. And again, that is just the beginning of the list. And each one of those platforms is so complicated that companies hire full-time people just to manage them, to configure them, to build dashboards, to train new employees, to fix things when they break, et cetera, et cetera. And you can think of it like being the only person at a 500-person company who knows how to fix the thing the entire company runs on. You're not replaceable, you're not optional, you're a load-bearing wall. So for Salesforce specifically, entry Salesforce admins make $70,000 to $90,000. Senior admins make $110,000 to $140,000, and solutions architects clear $180,000 to $250,000. And there's no college degree requirement. And Salesforce has a free training platform called Trailhead. Anyone can get the certification, anyone. But here's where this gets interesting. The same playbook works for other software too. HubSpot certified trainer, NetSuite certified administrator, ServiceNow certified system administrator, Workday Pro. Same money, same demand, same career path. And the YouTube angle is absolutely insane here. There is a whole category of creators called Salesforce influencers, like Salesforce Ben, the Salesforce architect coach, Trailhead focused creators, people who built entire content businesses by teaching one software, and they often make more from their content than from their day job. So if you wanted the cheat code, get the certification, get the job, start documenting what you learn on YouTube. And within a year, you have 2 income streams. And by the way, you could also just help people get into the careers as well. This is kind of what my brother Zach did by helping people choose the right trade career for them. My community member Nicole, for instance, started the channel GRC for Mere Mortals. When she first started working with me, she had about 85 subscribers. And after posting a bunch of videos on YouTube, she helped a bunch of people get GRC jobs, and she made over $80,000 in a single month. Davis from my consulting offer did the same exact thing with consulting to get into the big 4 consulting companies. And this is a multi-7-figure business. And Josh Madakor did the same exact thing with helping entry-level people get into IT jobs, and more advanced people get into very high-paying cybersecurity careers. And he also has a 7-figure business. So yeah, you know that when a skill is so valuable that people can literally just post about it on YouTube and start 7-figure businesses, you know that's probably something you should get into. So yeah, pros here: high salary, no degree required, certifications are free or cheap, massive remote demand. And the cons is it requires consistent study. The platforms update constantly, so you have to keep learning. And the opportunity score here is like 9.5 out of 10. This is one of the highest ROI certification paths in tech for people with college degrees or without college degrees, hands down. So here's how to start. Pick one software that your industry uses heavily, like Salesforce, HubSpot, NetSuite, AWS, ServiceNow, Workday. And honestly, it doesn't need to be that technical. It could be something like QuickBooks or even just Google Excel. And if you don't believe me, again, there's a lot of channels that get massive amounts of views teaching people how to do Excel. Okay, so this is the real deal. And then let's just say you do the Salesforce Administrator certification. The exam's $200. The study time is 1 to 3 months. And then once you're certified, search Salesforce Admin Remote on LinkedIn, and there are usually thousands of openings at any given time. And this brings me to the last boring career, which I kind of talked about this entire time, and that is just starting a YouTube channel about something that you already do, right? So this could, of course, be your career. This could be a skill that you're already good at. This could be something you're passionate about. It could be something that you struggled with a lot, like a problem that you had that you got really good at. It could be something that you have a natural talent for, or it could be something that you've just done from a young age. So an example of this would be Isaiah Harris, another one of my community members. He is very talented at singing, and he's been singing since he was young. And he helps people that are intermediate singers get to a professional level of competence when it comes to singing, either people who want to make money or people who just want to be pros. And even though this is a small channel, he doesn't get that many views, he still made $28,000 in a single month. Or like the organic chemistry tutor who makes $82,400 a month month just from AdSense alone. And that doesn't count all of his other income streams. That's just from the ads that pop up on his channel. So chances are he's making 2 to 3 times more at least from other monetization methods. And he hasn't posted a video in 3 months. So this is passive income. Pretty insane. And I could just go on and on with examples. If you want to see more examples, again, attend the live training, click that link in the description in the pinned comment below. And if you want to see the video of exactly how we help my brother go from 0 to full-time income in less than a month, then go ahead and click right here.